Hello, good morning, good evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It's your boy Manifest with me, Dion. Some of you may also know me as Dion Reacts. No one's better than me. No one compares to me. I am peace. I am love. I'm perfection. Hey, let's go into 2025 with this same awareness of I am. All right, so I talked about identity a little bit along with two other components such as forgiveness and love, but I want to hone in more on identity. Who are you choosing to be right now? That is the question. Who are you choosing to be? Who told you you suck? Who told you you're not worthy of that relationship that you want? Who told you that you don't deserve to be a millionaire, a six-figure earner? Who told you you can't? Me? It just got to the point in my life where I just seen and heard about too many people becoming rich and wealthy. I was like, okay, now every one of these rich people can't be they can't be from a rich family. They can't be just inheriting these wealth, these riches and wealth. There is something these people have been doing to get quote unquote lucky. They went within, they believed in themselves. And as cliche as that sound, there is so much power in the belief of self, right? Because we're connected to source. You know, if you're spiritual, God. So I call it God. Because that's what I believe in. Christian. I'm Christian. So who are you choosing to be? What is your identity? We've been programmed, assuming that you live in the American society like I do, we've been programmed to allow the external circumstances to determine how we think and feel about ourselves inside. And because that, any indication of any external reflections of unideal scenarios, we observe it, right, with our five senses, and then we bring it inside, and then we recycle it. We regurgitate it, right? When in reality, we're supposed to decide in here, in our minds, internally, our heart, minds and heart, spirit, what it is according to our lives. And then it reflects externally. But we've been bamboozled, kerfuffled into thinking the opposite of that. Go inside. If you want something to reflect, if you don't like how your life is, go inside. Decide to identify as whatever you're wanting to be applicable in your life. Go inside and decide who you want to identify with. Because every time we react to something in the 3D or the external, we're identifying it and we're taking it in and we're recycling it again. So if you want to be that person that always gets that job offer or that promotion, claim it. Hey, no one's better than me. No one compares to me. I'm the best choice every time. I'm always chosen for promotions. Every job wants me. Every business wants me to work with them. Claim that identity, right? Remain in that awareness. That's the biggest thing. A lot of us do a good job with affirming and thinking, but we don't remain because, again, we allow the external to change our identity about ourselves. We got to stop doing that. Regardless of what the outside is saying, maintain the identity you said. So the outside may be saying, hey, you're broke, you're poor. Okay, you don't have to pretend it's not there, but make a conscious decision to decide, no. Okay, so right now in the 3D, the external is saying I'm broke, but internally, I'm identifying as someone who has six figures. I identify as someone who has seven figures, my business is booming, or I make six figures at my job. I have plenty of money. I have plenty of wealth in my bank account. I'm well off. I'm rich. I'm wealthy. And that identity is going to override the external if you maintain your awareness. Because what the external is reflecting, right? It's reflecting your old thoughts and beliefs that you had about yourself. So it's like a movie. You got to let it play out. The script has already been written. So now you're coming with a new movie, a sequel. So now you have to let the prequel complete itself now. And then the sequel, where the external is reflecting your internal reality of being successful, of being rich, of always getting that person that you want. You always get the type of relationships you want. You're always in the best situations that you say you are, right? Be that identity, and it'll unfold. What's helped me is if the external didn't reflect what I wanted it to reflect, I would just say it's part of the unfolding. I would just say it's a part of the plan. Oh, yeah, that's not showing up because it's in the process. It has to adjust to what I've said about myself internally. Okay, that also coupling yourself with a satisfaction of already experiencing it. When you give it to yourself internally, already adopt the feeling or the sense of already having it. So that way you don't have to have a certain level of eagerness to see it reflected in the 3D. Because that's another common mistake we make. When we don't see it instantly in the 3D, that also is a common discouraging factor to make people forsake the understanding of self-awareness, law of attraction, law of awareness, right? So the power is acknowledging what the outside is saying, and then making the conscious decision to say, no, it's not that. It's not going to be that. It's actually this. Okay. Yeah, so the outside is saying, hey, that person wants nothing to do with me. That person's not really calling or texting me. But internally, I'm saying that person's lovely. They constantly want to text and call me and speak with me. They're fighting the urge. The reason they're not calling me or texting me now is because their ego is in their way. They're doing everything in their power to not try and call and text me. But they want to talk to me so bad right now. They want to confess their love for me right now. They're fighting. They can't hold it any longer. At any moment, they're gonna give up and reach out to me and confess their love for me. You got to be that. You got to decide internally. You have to decide that. Okay. Acknowledge the 3D. Recognize it. Okay. 3D. Okay. I see that. I'm not going to choose that, but I see you there. It's actually this. You're unfolding for me. I'll let you pass, but it's actually this. So that, same thing with your health. If it's just something you grew up with, a certain impediment, illness, hey, I'm so happy and grateful that this thing is fading away each and every day, each and every moment. Concept of time, again, is an outside factor. It's a 3D factor. So that's a 3D factor. So I'm like, every moment, every moment, every moment. So let you pass, letting you pass. Let you pass. And then the awareness of what I am inside becomes externally reflected. Right? I'm the best. Nobody compares to me. Nobody's better than me. Nobody compares to me. Nobody's better than me. I'm peace. I'm love. I'm perfection. Boom. Works wonders. So, I wanted to give a shout out and thank you to Kimberly, Manifesting with Kimberly. One of my favorite awareness videos to watch. because she showed a different side of herself today. She wasn't her usual bubbly, sassy self. She became vulnerable with us, and I greatly appreciate her for that, because it was encouraging to see someone experiences her have moments like that, and show that, hey, this is a constant thing where we have to maintain our awareness. It's a game. It's a constant game we have to play with ourselves if we want to have externally reflected the things we want applicable in our lives, right? She said she has her doubts too. I certainly had mine. About 2 or 3 days ago, right, I went to go for a car. Now, from a pure 3D observation stance, my credit was ass. Pardon the language. Credit was ass. I owed at least a month. I was at least a month behind on my current car's payment. Paid now. I paid it now because, again, I'm wealthy. I'm rich. I have the ability to pay for anything that I desire. Right? Okay, I'm wealthy. I'm rich. I paid it. But before that, I was desiring to give that money to a new car. Right? So knowing that my credit was ass, knowing that I was at least a month behind on my current vehicle, I pursued it. I wanted to put the law of attraction, the law of awareness to the test again in this regard. Okay. So this is my second attempt trying to get a Toyota. In 2022, I tried to get a Toyota. I ended up in a Chevy. I pursue a Toyota again. Either a Camry or Corolla, preferably a Camry. Both fall through. Of course, I'm in the awareness, oh, that car's mine. The car that I want is mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Then I choose B. For anything saying no, it falls through. Now, I'm still going to credit this as my awareness reflecting the way I wanted, because I did get another offer. Or it was presumed to be another offer. And guess what? It was another Chevy. 2025. So I pursue that. Credit. Done deal. After all the time spent trying to get me in the car, credit. I was in the awareness. I said, hey, I said that car's mine. I didn't have any doubt within me. I didn't have any limiting beliefs within me. It still didn't happen. At least that in the way that I have. Now, even though that didn't happen, right? And I was discouraged, right? For a brief second, it did time. For a brief moment, it did have me wanting to revert back a little bit. Not as bad as back then, but I was like, well, I was in the awareness of having a vehicle, of getting a new vehicle. And it didn't happen. Kim's video encouraged me, and I chose B. And I told myself, as I'm telling myself now, oh, this is just unfolding for me in my favor to have the car I want. Because it didn't. Hey, because I want a Camry or a Corolla. So I decided to give it the meaning. That's another thing. Give things the meaning that you decide. Oh, this just means that I'm going to have the car I want. This just means I have the car that I want now. A Camry. This just means I have the car that I want now. That's all. Right? Don't let the 3D determine how to identify internally. This just means I'm going to get the car I want. Oh, this means I have the car that I want right now then. This means that I have the car that I want right now. That's all. That's all. Just be means I have the car that I want right now. This means I have the car that I want right now. Be in that identity. Don't let the 3D make you give up, because it will. Because it's so apparent to our senses. It's easy to capitulate and identify with. But you have to use your I am awareness to say, no, this is what I'm saying it is. It's not that. I'm deciding what it is. Hope that helps. Take care. Happy New Year. God bless.